Good day and welcome to your fantastic sporting program on TV360 Sport. It's going to be an exciting moment on today's program. We've been getting so much of feedbacks from viewers across the globe as regards the last episode of your favorite sport program. Today won't be any different, and I'm still your host guide for the next few minutes on the program. My name also still remains Mudashiru Shitu. And it's good that though they've not been the full opening of all sporting activities in the country, we know definitely that non-contact sport has resumed. So there's a lot of negotiation going on between the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and also the Ministry of Youth and Sport. We'll be giving the good news as it's been official, if they announce officially that football, boxing and other contact sports will be resumed fully. But on today's part, which is going to take a great part of our program today, I'll be speaking to a very respectable sport administrator. He has been in the arms of affair of the Sport Ministry, the Sport Commission, and also NFF when it was formerly known as the Nigerian Football Federation. And that's the reason why I decided to talk to Dr. Steve Olarinoye today. He's based in Ilorin. Let me give you a preview of what our discussion will be about. On the 10th of September 1994, 26 years ago, Iwanyan national players were coming back on a very sad note. We're coming back from a football match in Algeria, and a sad incident that always take due course, that always be remembered every time, where the ill-fated airline called the Oriental Airlines took place nearby Niger. Dr. Steve Olarinoye is the survivor of that airplane crash. And I'll be speaking to him to tell us what happened on the 18th of September 1994. Hello, sir. You're welcome to the program, Dr. Steve.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you, sir. Yeah, you are a survivor, and a lot of stories have been going around that incident, the airplane incident that has to do with Iwanyan national players. Now they are known as Heartland. Tell us what happened that fateful day.
Well, thank you, Muda. First of all, let me give thanks to God for saving some of us. And we want to pray to God to continue to grant the lost ones, eternal life. Actually, we went to Tunis. The team went to Tunis to honor the first leg of the quarterfinals African Champions Cup against Esperance. That match was in Tunis. The match ended 3-0 in favor of Esperance. So it was on our way back that the incident happened. We left Tunis very, very early, around 4 a.m. It was the visibility was so poor. Now we're still, although we didn't sleep much, we're still in the euphoria of, not euphoria really, we're busy discussing the loss of that match. So we finally left Tunis at about 4 a.m. thereafter. Then when we were coming, we refueled at a place in Algeria called Tamaracet when we're going to Tunis.
Okay.
So on our way back, the pilots were determined to refuel at the same place. Later, we got to know that their fuel was reasonable. So when we got there, the visibility was poor. Probably he couldn't see the runway. He made several attempts to land. We were up there roving for close to 2 hours. You may not believe it. And probably when he discovered he was short of fuel, he finally decided to land without seeing the runway. And that was how the incident happened.
Such a sad incident, and we'll continue to hope that the soul of the departed will continue to rest in peace. Yeah, to my next question, sir. It's obvious that a lot of people didn't know whether the airplane was a chartered airplane, was a commercial airplane, or was it a private jet? So much stories as regards to the Oriental Airlines and how it all started, because there is so much support from Nigeria, from the then governor of the state at that time. Tell us how you took off from here to get to Tunis.
Yes, the club itself, Royal National, was owned then by Chief Emmanuel Iwanyang.
Okay.
And we must give kudos to him by releasing his aircraft, Oriental aircraft, to convey the team to Tunis.
Okay.
The aircraft was actually that of Chief Emmanuel Iwanyang. Well, everything was okay. We took off fine until we got to Tunis.
Okay, interesting. What's the response of the nation at that time in 26 years ago? What's the reaction of the federal government, though it was a private club, a private ownership? What's the government of the state and the federal government, what's the reaction and the support? Because we seem to lose so much of that memory. As a survivor, tell us what's the reaction of the federal government and the support when the incident took place.
Well, Buddha, it was a very sad day, very eventful day, and memorable day. It's a day that remained indelible in my mind for a very long time. But God, in all things, we should continue to give thanks to God. After the incident, I happened to be the team secretary. So at home, when they got the news, they were anxiously waiting to hear from me as the NFA representative. We made several, there was no GSM then. So we made with the phone we had there, we made several attempts until they heard from me. But the news around there was that all of us perished. So I told them exactly what happened, the number of players that died, the 2 pilots that died, and the air hostess. Though the whole country was in sort of a very sad mood. So the federal government decided, and before then I must give thanks to my boss then, Alhaji Sani Ametoro, who already put himself together and arranged with the federal government to provide us with Cabo Airlines. It was Cabo Airlines that came to Algeria, Tamarasset, to collect us, both the living and the dead.
Yeah, so emotional, I need to say, because as at that time, so much was going on in the country. I know when issues like this occur, we see so much support, both financial, monetary, housing support, the beneficial and the next of kin of the deceased and all that. Did such really take place? And if were the promise made at that time, was it fulfilled, or we are yet to see such promise made?
So, like I said, we must give kudos to the federal government and the Imo State government. And perhaps the owner of the club himself, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyang. The aircraft, Oriental Airlines, was insured. So at the end of the day, all of us, including the officials, the players, were compensated by the insurance. We're all compensated. And the Imo State, on their part, they were responsible for the burial of the dead ones. And I can't really remember what they gave to the players, but I'm very sure the insurance gave us, they compensated all of us.
Yeah, well said, sir. But my next question, a lot of people seems to be not happy that incident like this should be a national, there should be national remembrance, perhaps from the Nigerian Football Federation, perhaps from the Imo State government. Yeah, I think in other climes, we'll probably see this as a national day, if not a federal national day for the state. And also, we don't see much of remembrance. The best we had, even this year, was the fact that Heartland players, because the Oriental National had not called Heartland players, just did a celebration between themselves and within the club. What do you think went wrong that this doesn't seem to be like a national tragedy, and why it's not being celebrated even by the Nigerian Football Federation and also the Sport Ministry?
Well, Muda, I may not be able to talk much on that. Thank God, people like us, we are still very much alive. Because the interview like this has now become a yearly affair. Because people like you always run after us to tell you, to refresh people's memory about the incident. Like you rightly pointed out, it's supposed to be something that even the NFF now and the federal government should be remembering yearly. It should be an annual event. It doesn't cost them anything.
Yeah.
You know, because the club itself, the Iwanyang National, they were right there in Tunis to represent Nigeria, not Iwanyang Football Club. And they represented Nigeria in the Champions League Cup. And one will expect the federal government, especially the Nigeria Football Federation, to take it as their responsibility, to make it an annual event where you remember especially the lost ones. Now, it's good you've mentioned it, and I'm sure some of them that must have heard us now, they may have a rethink.
Okay. Interesting. We hope that the necessary, bodies we really look into this. Thank you for your time. We'll go on a quick break right now. Hold on. We'll be coming back for the next section of the interview. We'll go on this quick break. We're having Dr. Steve Olangoye, who is the former National Sport Commission director, is presently a board member of Nigerian Weightlifting Federation. He's one of the survivors of the plane crash that took place 18 September 1994. He's still with us. We go on this break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the interview.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app. If you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Still 360 Sport. We still have Dr. Stephen Olanyoye in right from Ilorin. Doctor, it's good to still have you here.
Thank you very much.
So let me ask you this. We're looking forward to what the future of Nigerian Football League is all about. You've been part of the league in the past, and tell us what can be, what needs to be done between then and now.
Yes, I must tell you that as a pioneer member of Nigeria Professional League, which I was once the executive secretary of the league. You remember the league started in 1990.
Okay.
Yes, I must say that I must give kudos to the present LMC for building on the foundation that we laid. But we still have a lot of, there are more to do. Well, I said we should give kudos to them, and we can't take that away from them.
Okay.
But see a lot of things that you see. One of the conditions for having pro league or setting up a football club, professional club, is for the club to own their own stadium. Up to now that I'm talking to you, maybe you talk about one or two clubs that we can actually say they own their own clubs now. So what are we talking about? Okay. Have we really started professional football in Nigeria? That is the big question.
Okay. I'm sure if I should give you more time, there's so much to talk on that particular incident. Finally, on the program, I want you to also name names, the names of some of the players. We heard that the very popular Christian Chukwu chairman was part of the survivor. Can you tell us some other names that also survived in that incident while God will continue to keep the soul of the departed?
Well, let me start from my humble self.
Okay.
You mentioned Chairman Christian Chukwu.
Okay.
Two of our colleagues were there, but one of them is dead now.
Okay.
Banjiola.
Okay.
Of the then Sporting Link. It's now the PRO for this airline, Arik, presently.
Okay.
Then Olumide Akande, may his soul rest in peace. was part of us, a journalist too. The team manager then, Mr. Uche Ojimamofo. My staff then, Mr. Bola Oyeyode, who is there now as the director. And a host of others.
Okay.
But you remember the two players that died, Omale and Uche, the goalkeeper.
Okay.
Those are the two players that lost their lives. Apart from them, we have the two pilots and the hostess. With their soul stressed in perfect place.
Amen. I say that with you. Yes, thank you very much, Doctor, for being part of today's program.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much. And this is all we could take on today's program. It's obvious that time is of the essence, and I'm sure that if you want to be part of this discussion, you could follow us on all our social media platforms so that you could get more information as regards to that. This is all we could take and draw the curtain for today's program. I hope you really enjoy yourself on today's segment of 360 Sport. Same times next week, we'll be giving you more trending stories in the world of sport. From me to the rest of you, bye for now.